All right, I got here. It looks like a nightmare. It's a 2006 Toyota Avalon. The customer replaced I think the condenser by himself. So we pulled everything apart. The whole dash had to come out. Either the condenser or the heater core, I'm not exactly sure. And since then, his AC wouldn't turn on over here. Now, the shop told me that they think that it's one of these connectors are wrong. The problem is all these connectors are not numbered, and they all look the same, and they all could just plug into each other. And the customer was aware that he didn't pay attention at all. So the shop tried buying another one, a used harness, but they said the connectors are different, so that didn't work. So I asked him what's the only issue that they know about, and he said the AC doesn't turn on. So I'm forgetting about everything because I think most of these things are the same. I think it's just a junction. It's not actually, it's just jumping one pin to the other. It's not an actual, like connector. It's not like a module in here. Not that I'm aware of. So so probably most of them are the same. And they're probably interchangeable besides, let's say, this one. So we're gonna have to figure out what's controlling this temperature and hopefully just change that connector and we'll be good. So the car starts, even though it looks like it doesn't. It runs, but when I push the temperature gauge, nothing happens. I have here a diagram pulled up. This is the automatic AC circuit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start from right here, the temperature control switch assembly, and check power and grounds to it. It seems like it comes from temperature control switch assembly, AC control assembly. So I guess we're gonna look at the AC control assembly first. We should have an ignition power, power coming from here. There got to be probably a regular power, or maybe not. No, because it's AC. It only works with the car on. Okay, so let's just start. I think it's this right here. I think it's these wires because there's a black first, and then a green. So I'm gonna assume this is the black. It's supposed to be ignition. So we have the key on. Let me get a test light. It's about to start pouring. So shut this. Alright, I'm gonna back probe right here. And we have power. Okay, that's good. I did not expect that, to be honest. Because they were saying the connectors are mixed up. And I think that connector right here, this D46 connector, is one of those. So I did not expect that. That means the heater fuse is good. It's going through here to here. So is there any other powers here? Okay, let's look at the ground. So we got a ground on pin 24. It is a white and black wire. So let me just get my other test light. And we'll just jump power and ground between that. All right, one side over here. And we'll ground right here. And it lights up 4 amps. This thing has good power and ground. So I'm not thinking there's an issue. Alright, so I just spoke to the mechanic and he told me I was a little bit wrong. What happened? He said they first put it back together and then this thing was blowing the fuse, the 7.5 amp fuse. So then he went here and he's changed some of them around compared to this one and the fuse stopped blowing, but this thing still doesn't work. But he's convinced it worked before. I don't know, but looking at the diagram, it just shows us a power and ground. I don't see any data lines. Like there's nothing data related that's talking to. It's just talking to each other. This switch to that switch. But I just want to see if I missed anything. See all these wires right here. They're going to this switch. The only thing coming out of this switch, this is just talking to it. Now, once it must be communicating with something. It goes to the spiral cable here. So the gray wire right here is this gray wire, TX plus, goes to the gray wire down here, and it talks to the AC amplifier. It's a LIN network right here. Let's check this LIN network wire, see what we have on it. I don't see it crossing through that area, but 19, a blue wire. It's this wire right here. Let me get my scope. Let's just see if there's anything on this lint network. Alright. So we're gonna check this wire right here. The blue wire. I'm gonna just back probe it. Okay. There's definitely something on it. Volts. Let's go to higher the time based. Alright, we have 510. We have like 12 volts on it, which makes sense. Now if I push any of these buttons, nothing moves. Alright, let's just disconnect it from here, see where the 12 volts is coming from. Alright, so the 12 volts is coming from the BCM. I mean, from the AC amplifier, which definitely makes sense. But if all you know is the connector misplaced over there. So let me check the AC amplifier quickly. Because, you see, I'm looking at this gray wire. That's how this whole thing communicates. It talks from the lid network to there. And I know we have a 12 volts coming from the AC amplifier. And this will probably pull it to ground. That's just usually how lid network works. I have 12 volts on the lid network right now. I'm going to unplug what I think is the AC amplifier. I think this is it. No, so this is probably not the AC amplifier. So where is it? Oh, it's right here. My bad. Okay, this is the AC amplifier. And it went down a little bit. Alright, so I'm wrong. They're both giving 12 volts. Meaning the AC amplifier gives 12 volts. And this is giving 12 volts. Because you see right now I'm at 12 volts. With the AC amplifier unplugged. I mean with the switch unplugged. And now if I unplug this, it goes down to 0. But if I keep this unplugged and I plug this back in, it goes back up to 12 volts. So, telling me that they're each being able to give 12 volts. And then I guess when the module's talking, that's when it communicates. That's when it pulls to ground. Let me see, with the AC amplifier unplugged, this still has nothing. Okay, I want to plug in a scan tool and see if I can communicate with the AC amplifier. Alright, I got this thing scanning. Let's see what we got here. So 6. Alright, let's just do a scan and see if we can communicate with the AC. It's amazing how there's no codes yet. This thing has a million things disconnected. Alright, it's trying to, it can't communicate with the AC. Oh, is the AC plugged in? Yeah, I plugged it back in. That's the issue. AC ECU communication stopped. Alright, okay, new train of thing. We gotta go back to here and see why we can't communicate with the AC amplifier. Alright, so we have a power. I got it wet. Alright, let's see. So we know we have the green wire, which also feeds the fan relay. You know, I should turn this off because I have no idea if it's overheating or not. So, this green wire feeds the AC amplifier also. But it doesn't have to mean it has power on it because there's the junction. So let's see if the AC amplifier has power. If it does, then we're back to... If it doesn't, then we're back to thinking that it's a bad connection up here. Alright, so it's a green wire, pin 21. We'll go down there in the rain. Alright, let's see. We'll just use the test light. And it's... Okay, so we're definitely in the right one. It's definitely this guy right here. So pin number 1 is up there, white and black, or must be the blue one. Okay. And this one. And we got a good power and a good ground. Okay. That's good. What else do we have over here? There's a bus. How in the world does this talk? You know, if this is not CAN, it just can't communicate. There is no communication. There's another power wire over here. The AC fuse. Oh, maybe that's the one that was blowing. That could be. AC fuse, 7.5 amp. I was on a different one. I was on the heater fuse, I think. Yeah, I was on the heater fuse. The AC fuse, 7.5 amp, is feeding this. Pin number 1. So let's check that. Pin 1 to the known good ground, and we got power there also. Alright. So power and ground is good. Ignition's good. Yeah, I don't think there's any other communication lines. Alright, well, while I was testing in the rain, he said he has a known good one from a car that he was junking. Looks the same part number. I'm just gonna plug it in and let's see if this thing works. There's still no light to it. Auto. No, let me just get the other. He has the other side also. I'm just gonna get the other side. Alright, here's the other side. And I still got nothing. Is the amplifier plugged in? Yes. Let's clear DTCs. I still can't communicate with the AC module. Pretty much what happened was he had a junk car and somebody came and took the parts for it, but the customer was here who took the parts, so he just stopped by. He's like, oh, you want to try them, or you can take them. Alright, well, I found the connectors for the thing, so now I can see if we're overheating. I leave the car running safely, or maybe it's actually using this. I don't know. I don't know I have to look up a diagram how this thing communicates. Let's just make sure this is all plugged in. It is. Let's turn it on. Okay. Alright, I found the cluster wiring right here. There we go. We are not overheating. Okay, airbag lights on, that makes sense. Let's just see if we have anything now. AC, auto, no. Okay, so we're still fully dead there. Let's leave that up there. Now, we gotta figure out what's happening. So now I'm suspicious of either the AC amplifier, or since this has power, let's take a look at the diagram again. Okay. Let me pull up another diagram for the computer data lines just to see how this thing communicates. They say it's on the K line. Information bus, computer data lines. Alright. AC amplifier. MXP. Goes to the gateway. Alright, so I checked on the other car, and I'm definitely supposed to have communication with the AC module, which I don't have over here. So I'm looking at a factory diagram to the AC module. It uses the MPX plus and minus, that's the communication. And it goes from the AC amplifier to the gateway ECU. So let's go look. Where's my scope? Let's go figure out. Okay, I'm grounded. Let's go start back probing some stuff. So we need what color wire is this? We need a green wire, pin 3. A green wire, pin 3, which is right here. And we clearly have some sort of communication on here. 12 volt square wave. That's MDP1, which is coming straight from the AC amplifier. So let's unplug the AC amplifier. And while I unplug it, I'm going to look at the scope. And that stays. So, okay, so that's reading from here. So let's check this wire right here. It is pin 31, a blue wire. So that's going to be probably this guy right here. Okay, I have a good signal coming here. And I plug it in, it still has a good signal. So it's definitely not corrupting anything. It's almost as if this module's just not working. Let's unplug here. Well, that can't be. Oh, so it's giving out a signal. It's giving out a signal. And somehow it's just not getting to the gateway. That's cool. Well, let's see. Let's check the next one. 30 is a green wire. Oh, but this black wire has something on it. Yeah, so this black wire is coming from a different module. If you look, it's coming from the module before it. Because I have everything unplugged and it still has a signal. Let's plug it back in. So it's not a network communication. It's not a network issue because we clearly have a network. Is it just a bad module? That's it. I'm gonna see if we can get an AC amplifier, but to me that's what it looks like. Because it could be a million of these things are mixed up, but it doesn't look like it makes such a big difference. Especially because I have power, ground, network. What else could it be missing that's not working? That's my dilemma. So I think all of this was just see, if I had a car that came in regularly, I probably would have condemned this within 10 minutes. It's just when a car looks like this, that's when it looks a little nerve-wracking to get involved. All right, so based on not having communication to this and everything else seems to work, and I have communication at the module and at that module, and I have power on both sides of the LIN, which to me doesn't really make sense. I'm calling a bad unit over here, and the shop said they'll just stick one in and they'll let me know what happens. They're not the type to call me back, so I'm gonna try to find out if it actually fixed it before I post this video. But all right, thanks for watching.